ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the foil project. Starring the one and only idiot, William Thorpe. Yeah, William!
Woo! Let's do it. Start the countdown. 3, 2. Never done that before. All right. Welcome back to the Foil Project. Today we've got myself, Max, Noah, and Will Phillips with us. So, thanks for joining us, Will.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're stoked to just maybe have a bit of a chat, froth out on some of the foiling stuff that you've done recently and a while ago, and yeah, get to know you a bit.
Yeah,
so,
okay, cool.
Awesome. I'll let Max take it away, put him under the bus.
Putting me under the bus. It really is putting me under the bus. I was ready to lay back. Just let you take it away. It's been a while. I guess first up, I don't know if you have like a short bio about yourself, but would love to know a little bit about how you got into the sport, where you came from, sort of what got you in love with foiling, and yeah, I guess go from there.
Yeah, okay, well, I arrived in Perth in 2001 and I was a bit disappointed like every day. I arrived in October when the sea breezes started and I was right into my surfing and I was like, every day that howling southerly.
What is this?
And I'm like, this is not good. And then I saw a couple of guys kite surfing, so I got on that wagon and kind of did that for like 20 odd years. And then, I got a bit bored of that and I saw a couple of guys foiling and I thought, well, I had a lot of mates getting into it and they're like, you got to do this, got to do this. And I was like,
Yeah.
And then the one day I was at a spot called Grabbers.
Yeah.
And my mate Jake Gordon was out and I'm like, and he'd been asking me to get into it and I saw him doing it like live and I'm like, what I need. And he goes, I'll hook you up with a board.
Yeah.
This is the foil setup you need. Go to the foil shop. Yeah. And he set me up and that's how it all kind of began. And then.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So was there an exact moment where you were up on foil or something like that and you were like, wow, this is sick, this is unreal?
Yeah, like Grabbers was like, and then had a few guys and I went back and then I was cruising along and I worked up the
pumping?
The pumping and then there's actually footage of me when I hit the rock. So I was like,
so you were
I was full frothy and then I damaged the foil and everything.
Oh my God.
That is crazy.
That was the day that, I learned that the pop kind of like, the ollie and the skating, like kind of, and I was like, and it was just from there, it's been like the best journey ever. It's like, better than when I learned how to kite. It's like,
okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Do you know what gear you were on? What Jake gave you?
The Armstrong 1250.
Okay.
1250.
Yeah. Foiling's like cryptocurrency because everything was like, gotta get this, gotta get that, then you gotta get this. And
Definitely.
And then I had to just tell myself just to stop. And but now I'm like frothing to try some other stuff. But I just had to kind of like got one set of gear, then like got another set, and then they're like, no, you gotta get this one. And I'm like, oh man, I'm not gonna get that past the wife. I'm like doing little side cash deals.
Yeah, literally. Like becoming a drug dealer, the bank accounts.
100%.
Need a separate one.
No, I actually say that sometimes at the shop. Like, some guy will go, you're about to tell them the amount, and they give you this look. They look at you and go, don't read it out loud. And you go, oh, right, here you go.
And I bet they always go through their wallet and go, oh, I've got like $70 in cash. Can you put that through?
Yeah. So you were coming from a surfing background then before you came to Perth? Is that
right?
That's
right. Yeah. So, I loved my surfing, like really enjoyed it. And then in hindsight, when I arrived in Perth, I met an Aussie girl in Canada way back in 2001 on the ski resort. And came here and her parents have actually got a holiday house down south. And my wife ended up getting a job in Perth, or was my girlfriend at the time. And we could have just stayed down there, and I'd probably still be down there just surfing. But I don't know, it's worked out pretty good that I got
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So this has been the substitute for.
Yeah, I don't actually surf a lot these days.
Don't
It's-
surf anymore. Yeah, I was gonna say just foiling.
Now that my kids surf and
Yeah.
they like the small waves, and it couldn't work better for me. That
Yeah.
they like the fun small stuff. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah, for foiling.
Well, maybe from there we're actually just talking about before we started the fact that you went on a little trip recently. You got back just yesterday, is that right?
Yeah, got back last night.
Yeah.
I went to the East Coast and I was blown away. I was even thinking it would be nice to meet an East Coast girl instead of West Coast. No. Block that out. My daughter did a whole presentation on why as a family we should go to Sydney and watch Coldplay, and we missed out in Perth, and she totally sold it to me. And I was like, you book if you can get tickets, I'll do the flights and everything. And
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
she managed to get the tickets, and we paid for everything, and then I thought it'd be a better idea to fly into Brisbane and then do like a little road trip down to Sydney.
Perfect.
Beautiful.
And yes, I think I scored. It was small and fun and awesome with the kids, but a lot of the locals are going, oh, it's small. I'm going, this is the best proning I've done in my life. And,
Just endless point breaks, is that right?
and then the one on the first day I went out at Whacky Goes, I was like, okay, it'd be sick to send it all the way to Byron Bay, but the wind was blowing a bit of the wrong direction, and I took off and I glided, and I didn't even make it to the pass because the offshore got me. But I was lucky to do it the next day, and
Yeah, sweet.
I was frothing. I was like, it was small and fun, and I felt a bit sorry for the girl on the beach, this American girl who I was like, oh, can you just take a photo of me? Like, I'm just so happy. And then she goes, do you want me to film you? I'm like, oh yeah, sweet as. And then,
Yeah, is that video?
Yeah.
I think I saw that one.
and then I'm like, I'll put this on Instagram. And then you're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done it.
Whacky Goes to Byron! Yeah, baby!
So what was how far is that downwind you did on the prone?
It worked out at 3.64 K's. Not
Okay.
that I was
Yeah.
tracking it. It's only a short one, but a fun one. And
Yeah.
I'd love to go back when it's big and just because I had a little bit of a wind assist in that. It was pretty small, but just fun. But on a big swell, like it would, and no wind, you could just
Endless possibilities.
it's it's better than anything.
Yeah.
How'd you get back after the downwinder?
Well,
Just walk?
Yeah, it's funny you asked that actually because we hired a motorhome in Brisbane and obviously parking at Whacky Goes is the big problem. So I took the family. We tried to see if we could get parking, but there was no way. This motorhome was parking there, so I dropped them off. And then I drove back to the campsite we were staying at, just Reflections near Byron Bay, and then I jogged back and I set up my foil stuff, and then I did the run.
Yeah.
And then I got the motorhome and drove back to pick up the family after the kids had their service.
way.
That's so perfect.
So, no, I had a little bit of a session first at Whacky Goes when I got
Yeah.
around, and then some guy said, no, you chip in at little Whacky Goes, and they taught me all the tricks.
All
and
the
details.
tricks,
yeah.
Oh, man, and lucky my wife was on a working holiday filming me and got some footage, but I don't know. My friends, I don't know if they appreciate the footage every time I send it to them. They're like,
We wish they were there. Hey?
Everyone's a bit jealous.
Yeah. Were there any other spots you hit along the way? Or
yeah.
That was
So
the-
I cruised along, and then I got to the pass, and then kind of glided on one on the pass, and then I realized like I needed a little bit of wind assist, so I kind of pumped back out again.
Yeah.
And oh man, it was small, but just
Beautiful. Yeah.
yeah.
Many whales when you going around the point.
There were whales, but when I was going, I didn't see
They weren't
them.
focusing on the whales.
I'm like the bus driver. I'm just like cruising.
Locked in.
Locked in,
Focused.
yeah. So it was easy though. Like compared to WA, it was just.
You mean like chipping in and everything?
I
or
wasn't.
the actual.
I wasn't. Oh, the chip-ins like.
So much easier, yeah.
And then also the glide and everything, and
Yeah,
It was
right.
just so nice, and no ribbon weed as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's ideal.
Even when I talk to some of the guys, I'm like, oh, you guys get ribbon weed? They're like, what's that?
Yeah, we wish. Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm going back a little bit to start that story. What was your favourite song at Coldplay?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's a good question.
I think it's called Sky Full of Stars. Is
Yeah,
that-
yeah.
Yeah,
The Coldplay concert's insane, isn't it?
it was like, man, to have like the sickest prone foiling ever, like along the journey, and then just to finish it in Sydney with that concert, it was like
The perfect.
yeah, and it was actually a good for training as well, because I just bounced up and down the whole time.
Is that what you're thinking at Coldplay? Woo, for training.
There was a couple behind us, and like I was like, I'm gonna do like I'm gonna do longer than Oscar Johansson. I'm going. I'm like 3-hour concert. I'm like, yeah, I beat his record by about 2 minutes. So I'm pretty happy about that.
What was it, like 3 hours and something that you were bouncing up and down for then?
Man, it was full training.
From there, talking about doing some prone sends, I remember last year you did a pretty interesting one down south, if I recall, where you chipped in, was it Red?
Yeah, Red Gauge.
Yep. And then went through
to my River Main Break.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that
crazy.
was. I actually get a bit of goosebumps thinking about it right now. Actually, like right through my body. Oh, it's weird. Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
I actually had a mate. He was doing it pretty tough, and and I thought, oh mate, like I'm gonna do it. I want to show him that anything's possible right now. Like he was in kind of a baddish way, and so I arrived at a few of the boys who were on kites and a few guys who were on wingdings, and we arrived at Red Gate, the main parking lot, and I was like, okay, oh, there's like a little bomby thing that breaks right in front of me off a rock.
Yeah. That's.
I was like, oh, I'll try to chip in there and send it, and then I jumped in the water, and then like 20 minutes, like nothing broke. But when I was watching, it was breaking and nothing broke, and I was like, oh, okay, I've got to do it for him. So I ran up to South Redgate the whole way along, and then chipped in. I went around that big rock, and then that place where I was sitting for 20 minutes, suddenly a wave broke there and knocked me off.
Oh.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna run back. So I ran back, and all the other kiters and wingdings they gave, they left me. And, and so I ran back, and then I chipped in again at South Redgate, and I did it wrong. I pumped straight out, and I ran out of legs, and I just didn't get the wind line. Like fell down. I paddled back in, and I was like, come on, okay, fourth attempt, I got to do it for him. And then fourth one, I got it, and I went around the rock, that big rock, and I just started sending it, and it was like, I was like, oh, this is, man, like when you're doing a prone downwind, like you often think, oh, just stop there. And I was like, well, and I just carried on going, and obviously, like I saw one bit of weed. There wasn't much weed, and I was like, cool, got around there, and I got into one little hole once, and I was real far out, and and obviously I didn't have much safety, and now I do safety. I had my phone for my track, so I don't know if that's the safest thing, but I cruised down and made it to main break and cruised in with this windsurfer. His name's Ash, and it was pretty sick. I was like just to finish it on like a sick big left, and I was like totally dropped in on him, and he's like, and
who's this guy? Where'd he come from?
that's exactly what
You literally be like, where's this guy?
And he's like, Ash, like, where'd he come from? I was like, Redgate. He's like, no way. I'm like, he goes,
You're crazy.
what? How long did it take you? I'm like, oh, I don't know. I was like, and I went in, and
That's so funny.
I was frothing to the max, and then unfortunately my mate he had an aneurysm, but it ended up bursting, and unfortunately we lost him. But I just wanted to show him anything was possible. But he's kind of always with me when I'm doing my downwinding, so that's my safety.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Safety net.
He does what I do. Like every time I go around Trig Point, like you chip in at Brighton, you go around Trig Point, and you're like, and I always look up to him, and he goes, and I go, okay, don't trip me today. But he's tripped me heaps of times. I'll do it 100%.
Yeah. No, that's an
So,
awesome story.
Yeah, it was a 6 end. It was.
Yeah. Are there many spots to like get in from Redgate to Main Rake, like along the coast? Are there many like beaches where you can just safely paddle into if you do fall off?
I didn't really think about it too much.
Yeah.
Weren't really focused on that.
In hindsight, when I looked at my my tracks, I kind of like measured from Margaret River Main Break back to the White Elephant, and I'm going, oh gee whiz, I'm like that far out at sea, and yeah, probably a safety device would have been better to like have a mate with a kite and maybe a little rope hooked on the back. I don't want anyone else to do that. I want to do that.
Anything was possible, yeah. No, you made it happen, so that was good.
Yeah, well, a safer one was from Yelling up to Sugarloaf.
Right,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, that's
So,
cool.
yeah, lost my mate.
Yeah, way safer. Still,
Just all cliffs.
I feel like
the
we'll
entire
just
way
show like
along.
the map of what that looks like, and you probably got to cut pretty far out to sea to
You've
do
got
that cut
reef
too.
break.
Yeah.
I had my phone with me that time, and my mate went. He was, I'll let you go, and then I'll go do some shopping at Dunsborough at the Coles, and he goes, I'll meet you, and so he had my live track.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Yeah. Brilliant.
that was insane. So I'm looking forward to doing it on the SUP Downwind, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
at least I can get like a second or third or fourth or fifth chance if I fall off.
Yeah. So you've done both of those runs. Like you have to do them completely clean if you're on the phone.
Yeah.
Don't you? So
Yeah, well, the one to Sugarloaf, I was cruising and I was like, I went past 3 bears and everything, and there was a guy up on the hill because it was onshore, and he's looking at me going, what is this idiot doing? And I cruised past, and then made it to Sugarloaf, and then I was like, should I go around Sugarloaf or should I go on the inside? And I was like, around. I couldn't make up my mind, and then I actually fell off.
Yeah.
And I had to paddle in. And that's actually, if anyone's thinking of doing it, it's better to go on the south side. There's actually there's like a cool little channel. So you can.
Did you go through that?
Yeah, it's like a cool little channel
That's
to paddle
crazy.
through, and then it was easy. And like I was thinking, and I've seen a few of the other boys who did the Cape to Cape, and I saw their finish, and they finished on the other side, and it's just dumping waves.
So that side's the good side.
South
to go.
side's easy. It's got like a
ticket.
cool little channel thing, so you can like there's waves breaking, you just paddle up the channel and then climb out, and then
Yeah.
Perfect.
and then do some frothing.
Yeah. Brilliant.
So, sorry, you.
No, you go, Nos.
Oh, so your difference between obviously your supping versus just your proning, like you have to be so perfect every time you do like a big send on a prone. While supping, I guess you have that sort of safety net of being able to paddle back up. Like, do you prefer having that fear that at any point out to sea that you could just stack it and lose everything, or do you like having the safety net?
I like the proning's pretty sick. Like I learned to do the sup thing. Well, I only learned at the end of last summer. I haven't done it like a lot. But I was like, I'm enjoying this challenge of like that, trying to do it and everything.
Yeah.
And but yeah, when I did a prone downwind the other day, like it feels like you're on like a little frisbee. You're like, whoa. Like, at the moment, like I'm on an 8'4", and like it's like, whoa, it's like.
It's a bit of a.
But I'm learning. I'm learning how to. Like a few of my mates call me the bus driver because I just go straight. So like,
Yeah.
trying to.
Do you go straight in your prone downwinding as well, or it's like you're connecting a couple more waves? It's a bit more fluid.
I think the cool thing is like when you chip in at Brighton, you're kind of like I'll just go around Trig Point and I'll have fun and I'll put in some cool turns and I'll pull in and then run back. But then when you get there, you're like, I can't stop. I'm like, what's the time? What's the thing? And then you realize you don't have your phone, so you can't get a scooter or.
Yeah.
And then it's always that little thing of like, you think, I'll get to Hilarys because you can't go any further. Well, I did go around Hilarys once. That was silly.
What happened then?
Actually a guy, luckily I knew this guy, and he had been crayfishing. Anyway, I went around Hilary's marina and was trying to work it all out, and there was a big rock outcrop, and as obviously with the sea breeze, it goes like you get stuck behind. There's no wind swell behind it, and I was like, and I ended up falling down quite far out, which was a bit silly. And this boat just started coming. It was coming straight at me, and I was like, like I was paddling in, and I sat on my board ready to go, oi, mate, like, you're gonna,
Yeah.
and then he stops, and he's just like, he filmed me, he's like, what the hell are you doing? Anyway, he gave me a lift back, and yeah, he had all his crayfish and everything, and he took me into Hilarys Marina, and yeah, that was because there was a guy, James, Pat's son, he went around Hilarys Marina, and I was like, he kind of knows from his sailing background, he knew all the reefs and everything, and
Right.
I was like, I got it.
If you can do it, I can do it.
I gotta go further, and yeah, I don't think I went further, but yeah. So,
How far out were you when you did fall off?
oh, not too far. As it goes around the marina, you're a bit further around.
Yeah,
So
it just goes inland a bit.
it's
Did you get? So you got that video footage of him?
yeah.
videoing you? Yeah,
It's on Instagram. Like,
What are you doing out here in the middle of... You wanna live?
yeah, I love sharing the froth, and like,
Yeah.
it's cool because 90% of my mates enjoy it, maybe 10% are like, shut up, mate.
Nah, I know for one, I love seeing the videos every time. It like gets you a little bit more excited to go out and do something crazy. I love. There's one of you on a dock. You're about to start going on the dock. You're like, whoa, here we go, first session. Yeah,
Yeah,
Gets me
you're like,
amped.
'cause if you're just standing there, you're like, I don't know, like, you know, like those cool guys, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know, like as soon as you like see a big ferry or something, you're standing on the dock down in Mozzie Park, and you're like, we got this little like, we go like high five, we go like, I'll show you. Here you go, 1, 2, 3, and then we go click. And you go quick. You're like 1, 2, 3, yeah. And it's like fully frosts you up, and you're like,
Yes.
Matty Hale, like I don't know if he hypnotizes me or something on that dock, but every time he's there, like, yeah, have the sickest, like, yeah, and you just, you get behind the ferry or whatever and boat, and it's just, every dock start's different, like, every boat, it's like a new adventure, like I could go down there today and just have like a different adventure. I'd love to like write a book about all this.
You should.
Mate, oh yeah, and then sometimes you got like a camera and then you're like, oh no, I'm not gonna film these people like some big boats that don't even really like, they don't even look at you, they don't acknowledge you or anything, and sometimes even like some younger kids on the back and mum and dad are upstairs driving and they're on their phones and they don't even know you're on the boat for 10 minutes on their wake, and they're just like and, you just pull off and get on the next one.
But yeah, every now and then you get people who like see you turn around, they go, "Whoa, look at what's going on?"
And you can imagine me. I'm like, I go with it hard. I'm like, and they'll have the music pumping, so you're trying to like dance. While you
Back to the Coldplay, just bouncing.
You're a star. Oh no!
I've had like the best ones I've ever got behind have been like party boats, and sometimes like they're like fully partying and they see you get on the back and everyone just goes psycho. And you're like, you feel like a rock star for like a minute. You're like, I'm just out here dock foiling and they're chanting at you and you're like, oh.
So
feeling.
And then there's like 100 guys and one girl, and that girl's on there for a reason. You're like, oh, I don't want to look at this. When you're behind the ferry, though, I don't know, it's my little thing I always do. I don't know, like, because they're always frothing behind the ferry when it's full in summer.
Yeah,
like,
they love it.
Because it's like the kids and their parents and stuff. They look back and they're like, what is going on?
I always look for like the oldest woman on board, and I just like, I don't know, I just look at her and I just like, and like do the fingers. I just like, I go like, I heart you, and they're like, and then she like looks around. I'm like, no. I'm like, I heart you. And then just to create a bit of laughter, and then it just creates a good vibe. But it backfired on me a few months ago. Actually,
oh, no.
I did it, and I was like sending a heart and everything, and someone filmed it, and my wife's friend got it and sent it to my wife. It's pretty funny that it actually mate, it's interesting, like different boats and like like really get
Yeah.
random messages from people. Is this you? And I was like,
You're
oh
like-
yeah, it's me.
What was her reaction to that?
No, she's cool.
Yeah,
She knows
No, that's
she married an idiot.
Yeah, that's some good stories.
Yeah.
So what's the go-to gear when you're dock foiling?
Yeah.
I still ride the Armstrong 1850.
Oh, the 1850, yeah.
Yeah, it just works for me. It's sick. It's it gets you out of holes and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And
Yeah.
yeah, there's obviously Steely and all that doing it on their little. Pretty much is 280. Well, no,
Yeah,
it's 880.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do the standstill start. So like you stand and then you throw it and jump on.
Yeah.
I went down and to their little dock and had to go at the running one. And yeah, had fun on the lift, the 180.
Yeah,
HAX was sick. It would be nice to do
Yeah.
like on the 150 HAX as well.
Yeah.
But I prefer the other dock better. It's kind of like it's just mellow. You can see like a few Ks that way, a few Ks that way, so you can see which boats are coming. Like I'll hook into that one, and then I'll link up to that one. You can kind of work it out.
Yeah.
But at the running start one, it's like it's just continuous as boats are.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Where is the running start one, sorry?
What do they call it? The
Is that the marine?
the marine? Yeah, that's it.
Education.
Yeah.
Oh,
Education
yeah.
centre?
Yeah.
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 So,
Is that what we...
Yeah, that's where we've normally done it.
Oh,
If
yeah.
we've gone. Yeah.
I can't
cheeky.
tell you where the other one is.
It's
Nah, it's honestly, it's the
It's
just
your
on
spot.
Mozzie Park.
Yeah.
Minim Cove.
Yeah, that's
Sick,
right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm just the delivery boy. We call Brad the CEO because he's like the main dog.
Yeah.
And then there's Brad the manager, and yeah, I'm the delivery boy, and then our other mate Richard, he's the we call him the janitor because that's really bad. He's kind of like and then if you make it to the secret little beach, it's about a K or two away, and then you've cracked the code. So like if anyone tells you that name, it's like you know how to dock start.
Yeah, sweet. Actually, I was going to ask, it's interesting that you're still using like Armstrong and lift at the same time. Is that right? That you've got both setups?
Yeah.
Do you find that like plays with your brain, or you're happy to have both because they both do what you want for that specific thing?
Yeah, I don't know, maybe a little bit. Like, they both just work, and I'm sure there's better stuff out there, and I know there's better stuff out there, but I'm just scared to try it because I'm like,
If it's not broken, don't fix it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm having fun, and that's the thing in the beginning. I kind of like got on the Armstrong, then the lift, and then my mates are like, no, you got to go uni, and then it's like code, and it's like, oh man, but there's some guys out there now like designing some stuff, and I want to be the first guy on something new rather than like when your mates tell you about stuff and it's like, they're about to bring out new stuff, so you're like, I don't want to jump into something right now. I want to like get
Wait.
nice.
Yeah. True. The problem is like stuff gets outdated really quick at the moment.
Yeah. Well, yeah, my stuff's pretty outdated. Like it's a bit wobbly, but I have fun on it. So, yeah.
I think there's something about getting used to what you use as well that can make you a better foiler. Like if you're swapping gear all the time, it just like can play with your brain.
That's right. Like you almost like go there and then you kind of like, oh, maybe I should have just stayed on that a bit longer. And
Sweet. Well, one thing we have been doing, I mean, we've basically been done this the whole podcast, is the foiling stories. So we got 2 sent in recently.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, one is from I think you probably know both of them. One's from Scott, who runs the West Oz Foil Club, and one's from Marcelo. And Marcelo, I saw him down at the beach the other day. He's told me about the run he did from Woodman Point, heading past the industrial area. Yeah. So here's the text message he wrote. We'll chuck up a little image showing that. So he started at Woodman Point. He's heading past the industrial area, and then this is how he described it. He said, "I think this photo says it all. 7 kilometers swimming. Probably the hardest thing I've ever done." Full stop. Wind changed on shore and I felt completely seasick. I will let you imagine. And then there was a guy who saw me leave from the car park and was following me as I was swimming/drifting south. He said he was scared to watch. He offered me a lift, a hot chocolate, a phone. I can tell you, floating around that industrial area was not fun. No beach access, only rocks. I finished and went straight to my knees to thank God. Yeah, and the guy who's watching did too. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sad for Marcello. No, I would have been.
Probably glad you didn't join him on that mission.
Yeah, 100%. Like,
Yeah.
He's another reason why I got into foiling as well. He kept saying, "You got to do it, got to do it, got to do it." And I was like,
Yeah.
But it's nice to hear that he struggles. Yeah, we all have our struggles, but those struggles kind of like.
They make it better when you actually crack the code at the
That's
end.
right. Yeah. Otherwise, if it was too easy, like, yeah.
All right, and this is the second one. I don't know if Max or Noel want to read it.
Oh, you can go if you like.
All right. This is from Scott, West Oz Foil Club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't know his last name, unfortunately.
So Scott says, December last year, myself and a few other boys had dropped in at North Mole for a downwinder. This was my first season downwinding, and I just changed front wings recently, so I was having a bit of a shocker, and most of the guys had left me in the dust. I was having a hard time getting up at the start, and was having lots of falls. I'd managed to get up after maybe 10 to 15 minutes at the end of rock wall, but breached and fell just off Port Beach. As I pulled myself back into my board, I was on my stomach, and a 2.5 meter bronzy swam up to the nose of my board within 2 meters of me, and then just turned and swam past me. It took me a few seconds to register what kind of shark it was, so I was freaking out. Laying on my stomach with my arms and legs in the air to keep them out of the water. That is actually insane. Freaking. After a bit, I got to my knees and then paddled for 500 to 600 meters until I was confident it was gone, and then continued on. But I couldn't get the shark feeling out of my head until I was safely at Swanee.
Yeah,
That is terrifying.
It's all about safety.
Yeah. Just have a life jacket.
Yeah,
and
as
you'll
long
be
as you have your
fine.
life jacket.
Yeah.
I did. I've got a life jacket.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Because I've got some adventures inside. No.
Yeah, brilliant.
A few bucket list items.
I'd like to. I don't know. I like to challenge myself and like.
Yeah.
I've got one which is probably a bit silly, so I haven't really discussed it with anyone. I do think it's possible. One night at sea could be all right, but I don't think you need more than one night.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. Kind of. Yeah. But,
Sounds like you're playing something big if that's what you're want
Yeah,
at that
yeah.
stage. Yeah.
there's one cool one, yeah. But obviously, I want to do like the little ones. I think pretty sure you've done it when you go over to Rotto. You did the Rotto send. Yeah, I'd like to do that. It'd be fun and
Yeah.
do like a Rotto send, like just up the northern beaches somewhere and.
Yeah, that is really fun actually.
Yeah.
Like, just make sure you got proper safety gear if anyone's thinking about doing it. But
And a sharp mast so you can cut through the ribbon wheel.
yeah, definitely. Yeah. You want to pick the right day for that too. I was actually gonna ask a bit about just the foiling community in Perth and your perspective on it, because I mean, I feel like in that group chat you're a bit of a leader in some ways, a leader of the froth.
Outspoken.
Man, like
What's your...
all the foilers, like that's the cool thing. Like maybe not you guys, not joking. Everyone's so cool and like, you can fail and write the wrong things on there and that, but I think they're all pretty forgiving and the froth, like, I love it there, like, and when things come to my mind, like I see something, I'm just like put it straight on the chat group and. Yeah, I don't really think about it too much, and I don't know. People are pretty forgiving if you write the wrong thing. But yeah, oh man, yeah, I can't think of. I'm probably the only idiot on the group, but it's a cool community, man. Like, and it's cool. Like if I can, like my problem is I go to the park and like walk the dog, and then like straight away I got to remember that other people like other things, like. And my family around there like heard the same story over and over, like trying to like froth to tell people to get into foiling. Like a lot of my kite surfing mates, there's actually one guy, I shouldn't mention his name, but I kind of like pushed him away from like, he goes, his wife said to me, maybe if you didn't talk about foiling so much, you would try. So I know I know he'd be really good, and he'd probably be better than me within like a month or two. And But I don't know. Like, hopefully I'm encouraging a lot of people to get into it, because we live in one of the best places in the world to do it, and we're so lucky. And just like snowboarding the whole way from like North Mole to Hilarys, like just cruising on those. Oh man,
It's a good experience, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's so good.
Just on that as well, I wanted to talk a bit like about. I saw a photo of you and your son, like your son with a foil board going out.
Yeah.
How's he going along? Is he getting into it, or
So yeah, he's had a couple of goes, but I think maybe the better thing would be to when you're learning is to like tow.
Yeah.
And get towed in, and he's really enjoying his surfing, and I just bought him a little rack to go on the back of his bike for his surfboard and surf.
Perfect.
And just like the last few months ago, like he's going down for a surf before school. So like, yeah, I'm really encouraging for that, like, because surfing's like, to learn how to surf and do it properly is such an art, and then you can, like, when you get a little bit bored, you can kind of like venture off different directions. But I'm not pushing them too much. I'd love to, like, my daughter, like, imagine just like doing a sup downwind with her, like just jumping off North Mole, and the two of us are just like,
yeah, it'd be cool.
I can't wait. And yeah, man, like, they're both, my daughter and son, both loving their surfing at the moment. So I'm like,
awesome.
Just enjoy that. But yeah, he'll probably be my son will probably be more of a frother than me. So I'm just, maybe it's not a good thing to get into.
Yeah, the rest of the family might get completely sick of hearing you two talk about foiling all the time.
We might get kicked out of the house.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit of an expensive hobby.
Oh yeah, well, that's why I've kept the two set up so he can get in.
Yeah, awesome. Cool. I reckon we've covered a heap. If there's anything you'd like to add, Will, or like anything you feel
Anything
like you've
else
missed
you wanna
out on, or
ask, or-
stories that we haven't managed to get out of you.
I know. Sorry, I do talk a lot, go off on a tangent, but no, like, it's cool to see you guys doing what you're doing, and you guys are probably the guys who like inspired me when I learned how to do it, and you guys are out of deep six, and you're doing I don't know, these rodeo things, like funky things. I remember you with one leg sticking out and doing.
She loves that little one-legged move.
Yeah, and you got
sit down and the little.
I think you came in your little 4x4, your big 4x4.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's probably Noah. Yeah.
The ute.
All the foils in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys like frothing, and I just kind of like got into it, and like watching you guys just like pump around and around like inspired me, and and also like the foil, like if you ever want to ask someone, like one of the famous dudes, like Oscar Hansen, like I just like decided one day I'm gonna ask him a question, and like got straight back to me. I was like, oh, that's so
crazy.
Sick. Yeah, like you just ask anyone anything, and like even some of these guys who got awesome footage, like on Instagram and that, and then like when I was at Byron Bay, I filmed this guy, Trevor King, and I said, I got some footage of you, and like, do you want it? Like, I didn't know who he was, and he's like, yeah, of course, my wife never films me, and like gave it to him, and watching him on the SUP over in Byron Bay.
Yeah, wow.
Trevor King, I was blown away. I'm like, and he's put in the hard yards, and he said, oh no, I've got on the SUP a year and a half ago, and I've just like, and oh man, to watch him doing it, like, has inspired me as well to.
Is he from Byron? Is he?
I think he's American, but yeah, he lives in Byron Bay now.
Yeah, I think I might have seen him when I was over there.
Yeah,
I was up when it was really bad weather, like raining and just it was just too gross to do anything really. And we walked to the top of the point, and it was like up near the lighthouse.
Yeah.
And we're watching like the whales and the sun, and then all of a sudden you see this like black dot like way out deep. And I go, is that a downwind? And I like get the phone, and I zoom all the way in. I was like, oh, it is. And those guys just ripping out the back, just like 2Ks offshore. And I was like, what are you doing out there?
That's how I met him.
Yeah.
I'm like, I saw these guys. I'm like, what? The three of them.
Yeah.
Just, but they're doing on the southerly when I saw it, and they're like, oh, sorry, yes. Southerly, I'm East Coast, thinking different. Southerly.
Yeah, I think so.
And what they do, like way out from Waddy goes, they just chip in there, and then they do their downwind, but then they paddle back, and then it's like a full SUP training thing, and then and then when he caught his last one in, and he just was, oh man, it was
art. You were watching art. Yeah. Sweet. Last thing, I mean, if that's everything we've got, I'd love to just say to everyone to send in more foiling stories. Like, we've been loving hearing
every
them.
week.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
They're actually really cool.
Like,
that shark one's pretty crazy.
We'd love to just have... Yeah.
Oh, bloody hell, that.
And hopefully Marcello's got another story.
Yeah, Marcello, we want a better one. A success story, please.
A redemption.
Nah, I'm sure he's got some good success stories now. I've seen him ripping heaps.
Yeah,
so.
he kills it, eh?
Yeah,
Man, he inspires me as well. He's like, oh, try this, try that. I'm like, yeah. So,
yeah.
that's cool.
Well, thanks so much for coming in, Will. This has been awesome.
Yeah, thanks. I don't know if I deserved.
Definitely.
We've had a good amount of laughs, good amount of stories. What more could you want from a podcast?
That's right. Yeah, thanks, guys. That was cool.
Oh, cheers. Well, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you in the next one.
See ya.
Phew.
This podcast was filmed at Studio Scotch. The Foil Project would like to thank the Old Scotch Collegians for their ongoing support and for letting us use this facility.